Both these teams flying high coming into this game. Tim Lambright going up and getting the football.
No matter what part of the field they're on, they can break a huge play.
Anthony Francis down the sideline. He's going to go in for a score. Big pickup there for Angelo Blake. He just picks up those big chunks of yardage each time he carries the ball.
Boston, he seems to be a little sharp out in this game. There's just no substitute for straight-out speed. We've seen some amazing games, but that was
one of the best we've seen in a long time. Hello, Boston, and welcome to another matchup in the Boston Public High School Boston North Football League, as tonight the TechBoston Bears will be visiting the East Boston Jets at Satorti Stadium. So everybody, I'm Pat Flaherty, joined as always by my partner Alan Platt. And Alan, this has been a crazy year in the Boston North because we've had a bunch of teams who, you know, were on top at one point, then another team went on. I mean, teams have been trading places in the standings all season long.
A couple of teams had good starts, and now they've sort of bottomed out. This situation, we have two teams coming in at 2 and 3. It's funny. Both wins for each team against the same opponents.
That's right.
All right, and in the East Boston's case, three of their 3 losses, 2 of their losses are out of the city.
That's right.
All right. Meanwhile, you know, your TechBoston, we've seen them already this year. At least I've seen them. They got shut out, but then they turn around and score 30 points back to back.
Right.
So it's like you said, bizarre that's about the best way to describe this Boston North.
Yeah, it has been a strange year, especially in the month of September and now here in early October. We'll talk about the TechBoston Bears. They've ripped off 2 wins over the past 2 weeks, and their main reason is the guy we want to talk about right now. That's Marcus Gonzalez. To say he's had 2 good weeks has been an understatement.
Oh, most definitely. And it's really ironic. We talked about the shutout when they lost to Latin Academy, and we were both wondering to ourselves, why don't they just let him run the ball? I mean, he has good size. He showed a little bit of speed, had some shiftiness, and I don't know, all of a sudden the offense started really clicking when he just kept the ball a lot. And in high school, you can do that. Many times you'll find coaches putting their best athlete at the quarterback position.
Right.
And it actually even starts farther back in Pop Warner.
Sure.
And Gonzalez is a perfect example of this. I mean, even though the defense after a while knows he's going to keep the ball, if he gets a little bit of opening, doesn't matter. He'll make some yardage. Like you were saying, it was close to over 500 yards.
Yeah, over 500 yards
in the
past
2 games
weeks
combined. And that's just amazing. You know, I'm sure the coaches at TechBoston this one, oh boy, if we started the season like this, where could we be?
Right, exactly. I mean, he did make some nice plays at quarterback, but I'm sure just looking at those numbers, the fact that he was now at running back has been a huge help to this TechBoston offense, who has now won 2 games in a row. They want to continue that tonight. Meanwhile, on the other side for the East Boston Jets, it's always next man up, especially at the running back position. They got a lot of guys who can run the football. No real stud player, but a couple of weeks ago we were here against O'Brien, and Hector Martinez, who's going to be our spotlight player tonight, really made a lot of big plays for this East Boston team.
Well, Martinez is going to be dependent on, just like you said, had a good game, and now that he's sort of emerged as sort of a go-to guy, you're definitely right. With the speed, as you can see on this replay right here, you can see how some shiftiness, some speed, and he'll get a lot of touches, both just simple handoffs, pitch, and in some cases they'll try to throw those little screens out to the sideline.
Yeah, I saw a couple of weeks ago he had 67 rushing yards, but he had both the touchdown through the air and on the ground. So they're going to use him in a lot of different ways, sort of that X-Factor type of offensive player for the East Boston Jets. So we'll see how they feature him here tonight. Angelo Blake, who was banged up a couple of weeks ago, is a little bit healthier now as well. So he could be another guy that gets the football, along with probably 4 or 5 other guys.
But like you said,
going to run the ball for the Jets.
One of the strengths of East Boston over the past few seasons has been, well, actually, longer than that, over the years, has been the fact that they have so many numbers of skilled guys that can throw at you, whether pass receivers, running backs, fullbacks, quarterback, and they want to try to keep that trend going.
No question. We'll see if that continues here tonight against this now very good TechBoston Bears team. For more on this game, we're going to go down to our sideline reporter, John Skudras, who's got an update for us. John, what do you have?
Thanks, Pat. Well, it's been a year of transition for both East Boston and TechBoston. For Coach John Parziali's Jets, well, their transition began in the offseason when they lost star running back Brandon Ortega as well as their entire starting offensive line to graduation. They have replaced that loss of experience and dynamic offensive athleticism by relying more on the right arm of senior quarterback Dom Russo as well as the three-headed running back trio of Angelo Blake, Hector Martinez, and Nate Matera. They'll have their hands full against Jason Siepker's Bears defense, who has outscored their opponents 60-6 their last two matchups, both wins, to get their record in conference to 2-1 and set up this critical battle today. Offensively, the revolution for the Bears has been, well, a swift one. After starting out 0-3, the team moved from a spread option offense to a power offense, replacing the aforementioned Gonzalez at quarterback with Esau Jackson, and they have gone running with that move as they are 2-0 since the transition, outscored their opponents by 54 as I mentioned, and are looking to move into second place along with Latin Academy with a victory today against their rivals the Jets from East Boston. It's going to be a great game. I'll have more here from the sideline throughout, but for now, back up to the booth for Pat and Alan.
Thanks very much, John. And he mentioned, of course, the shift from quarterback to running back for Gonzalez. They also took an offensive lineman, Bademba Ba, and put him at fullback. Right. Bigger size, was able to open up some more holes over the last couple of weeks for Marcus Gonzalez as well.
Well, having a blocking fullback is always a key to any kind of running game. And again, like I mentioned before, the fact that it's obvious Gonzalez is going to get so many carries and the defense will key on him, that makes it that much more important to have a lead blocker as a fullback with like a lineman's mentality.
That's right.
Hit somebody. All right? It make a little bit of room for Gonzalez, and Gonzalez will take that lead and make something out of it.
Yeah, he's certainly a running back that just needs a little bit of a crease to break a big run. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff here from Satorti Stadium in East Boston right after these words. Bears taking on the Jets in just a few.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Satorti Stadium in East Boston for our Week 6 matchup between the East Boston Jets and the TechBoston Bears. Eastie in the all-blue uniforms with the yellow trim. Meanwhile, TechBoston in the white jerseys and the black trim. TechBoston will be kicking off. East Boston Jets getting ready to receive. It's like it's Yvonne Grand going to be doing the kicking duties for the TechBoston Bears. Low squib kick there for the Bears as Eastie lets it trickle out of bounds. That's going to be a flag on TechBoston.
We're used to seeing East Boston use that no-tee flat football. So the Jets seeing something very familiar. We're able to make the judgments and let it bounce out of bounds. I think East Boston's going to make TechBoston kick it again. Hopefully get a short kick at some kind of return. And talking about the similarities, like John Scudro said in the open, I mean, both teams 2-3 coming in overall, but they're also both 2-1 in the North, which
That's
is
right.
This is really an important game in terms of which team wins.
Yeah, the winner of this game will probably catapult to at least third place in the Boston North, maybe even second, depending on what Latin Academy does this week. Another low line drive kick. Jets going to let that one go out of bounds. No, it's
that one was
an awkward one where the Jets have to pounce on it at the 13-yard line.
That's one of those cases in baseball when you have a dribbler, like either a bunt or just a dribble down the first base line in baseball that looks like it's going foul but never goes over the line.
Right.
And all of a sudden you got to do something with it.
East Boston Jets starters, it's Russo, as John mentioned, at the quarterback position. We got Blake Martinez, and there'll be a few other guys carrying the football as well for the Jets. Restrepo and Rivera are the wide receivers. Rivera had a nice game against O'Brien a couple of weeks ago in which we covered. He made a couple of big catches on 3rd and 4th down. certainly a player that we'll be looking at here tonight. Angelo Blake, the deep back for the Jets. Russo going to throw it on first down over the middle to Rivera, who makes the grab at the 30 and is wrestled down at the 42-yard line.
Excellent throw. I was just going to mention, not much winds, getting a break. The rain we've had for the last, 4 or 5 days, remnants of the hurricane, has stopped, at least for now. Watch the replay. Good protection. Nice throw over, an excellent catch over the shoulder.
29-yard pickup there for Rivera.
Yeah, for some reason, it seemed like TechBoston was surprised by having East Boston go downfield because they were backed up so deep in their own territory.
Now on first down, the handoff again. That time it's Matera who lost the football.
Got a late flag.
And TechBoston recovered.
Fumble, okay.
The Bears recover the football in the East Boston 43-yard line.
Well, so a big hit defensively. Talk about turning the tide quickly. There's what the ball was never actually pulled in.
Like a bad exchange
right
there.
I mean, I mentioned that it's not wet, but the fact that it's starting to be chilly, that football starts to get a little slippery.
Roscoe White on the recovery for TechBoston. So now it's the Bears with their first possession at the East Boston 43. That's Esau Jackson. The quarterback hands off to Gonzalez, who's hit in the backfield.
Yeah, you can see, it's obvious that the East Boston Jets have a lot of eyes on Gonzalez. You have the Bears coming out of what they call a power eye formation.
They're the starters for the TechBoston Bears. Jackson, the quarterback, Gonzalez and Green in the backfield. Gilks and Jalacour are the receivers. It's got Von Grand out there for TechBoston.
Basically 2 blockers in front of Gonzalez.
On second down, the handoff to Gonzalez again. This time he escapes the tackle. Gonzalez in the open field. Marcus Gonzalez to the outside. Standing up for a touchdown.
No flags. He's going to stand. Boy, would you say over 500 in the last 2 games?
Yeah, you can see
great
why.
Start. Great start.
What a run by Marcus Gonzalez to get things going for the Bears.
Arm tackle's not going to work. Gonzalez is just too big. Nice shiftiness right there. That's what I talked about in the open. Stepped out of that tackle. Now he's going to turn on that second and third gear. Right there, outruns the safety. Gets to the end zone untouched.
Now they hand off to Bademba Ba, the big fullback. And I'm sorry, that was 44, Giovanni Noel, who got the carry.
They're trying to get Noel. They're trying to sneak the big freshman, give him a carry, but game starts out with a bang with Gonzalez. Now watch Gonzalez. He bides his time, waits for an opening, cuts across. Now he works to the side. This is where the speed comes in. And you can see that he just flat outruns the safety, Vasquez for East Boston.
I think that was Bademba Ba, number 44 for the Bears with the carry. He's listed at number 46, but judging by
it looked like
his size,
yeah,
I think that's
I think you're right, yeah. I mean, he'll get the ball maybe once or twice a game. You want to reward him for taking that shift from lineman to fullback.
So one more squib kick. This time Eastie fields it at the 21-yard line.
Vasquez, yeah,
Casey Vasquez is then dropped right around the 30, so that's where the Jets will get their second possession.
It's interesting that all the years we've come out to East Boston, watch this return come back. Vasquez just trying to make something happen. Follows his blockers, gets to the sideline, but one nice one-on-one tackle. Over the years, we've come out here, we're used to seeing East Boston jump out early with a score, and in some cases, a big run. Opposite for tonight, this is more of the same with what's happened this entire season for this North. I mean, the last time I saw TechBoston, they got shut out, and here they are scoring in the first 2 minutes.
Now on first down, it's Angelo Blake with a tough run. And he makes his way up to the 37-yard line, so a 7-yard pickup there on first down. Hey, yeah. You mentioned the Jets and how they often get off to a quick start. They used to always have that squib kick that teams had a tough time recovering there to start off the game. So you see Blake with a nice, tough run.
Good run. Good one. Man, this is senior night for the Jets. Right before the game, they had a really nice ceremony. All the seniors received either like a picture or a set of pictures together with a flower. So you've got some fired up Jets, the ones who are seniors.
2nd down and 3 now, and it's Blake again with the carry, and he picks up a 1st down, making his way up to the 41.
See, good running by Blake in between the tackles. Runs right through that first attempt and gets to another 3 or 4 yards before it's brought down by Roscoe White.
This time it's Matera getting the carry. The big fullback powers forward to the 47, so about a 6-yard pickup there on 1st down for Matera. This is typical East Boston.
I was just going to say, when you're trying to defend East Boston, it's almost like a guessing game. Normally, in a normal set, a fullback goes definitely between tackles. That time, he was actually out in the flank, and he was outside the tackle, but was able to get good yardage.
You see Dom Russo last week against the West Roxbury Raiders, had a rushing touchdown, but also threw an interception. And Westy's done that to a few teams this year. The West Roxbury has put a whooping on a couple of teams over the last 3 or 4 weeks and is now in 1st place in the Boston North. As they see Blake again with the carry, past midfield up to the 45-yard line of Tech Boston.
Good 1st down run for Blake. You see him. Excellent hole. Takes advantage of it. 2 hands on the football. Good job.
Last week, East Boston lost to West Roxbury 14-6, and the Raiders haven't necessarily been outscoring teams by a lot, but
they keep the scores low.
But West Roxbury's big. They're very physical up front, and they're playing their style of football. You see Matera rather, with a nice carry up to the 39-yard line. And again, East Boston picking up those 5, 6, 7-yard chunks each time.
I tell you, you talk about the scoring. West Roxbury's averaging 12 points a game. They're giving up 11.5 points a game. That's what your point about how close they keep everything close, and they use that size to pound on both sides of the football. They've come out with a bunch of wins. They're 3-0 in the Boston North.
And Brendell Johnson, the defensive end for West Roxbury, has been a terror in the backfield for a lot of teams. Now on 2nd down, it's Blake again getting the carry, and Angelo is brought down at the 36-yard line, so very close to a 1st down.
Stop for a short gain. East Boston's going to keep running as long as these 1st downs come. Opened the game with that long pass, but of course had it stymied by that by the fumble on the following play. You know, if the Jets can keep averaging 5 yards a carry, they'll stay with the running game. 3rd and about 2.
Give to Matera again. Yep. Easily gets the 1st down and is dropped at the 21-yard line, 31 line.
Yeah, we've seen a real good push by the East Boston offensive linemen. These running backs, both Matera and Blake, they're having some room on each of these carries. You see, as always, quarterback coming over to get the play in between each of them.
On 1st down, that time it's Vasquez who's got a big hole over the left side. Casey Vasquez drilled out of bounds at the 19.
It's almost like a change of pace. They use the fullback with his pounding. They use Blake in between. Then you come up with Vasquez. A little outside action here. Good seal block to start things out. Taking away that defensive end. Allowing Vasquez to get to the sideline. Michael Zelaya. Good block on that play, number 75. Good drive by the Jets so far.
Now on 1st down from the 19, it's Matera who shoots up to the 16-yard line. So just a 3-yard pickup there on 1st down.
But again, more of the same. Simple offense, very basic. Of course, the key is once you get some contact, putting both hands on the football. Just want to answer right here. Tie the score.
Hand off to Blake here on second down. Not a lot of room for Angelo on that play. Maybe he picked up 3.
Seems like the interior defense for TechBoston crowding that middle, making themselves a little vulnerable to any outside, like an outside pitch or a screen pass. But right now they're just trying to find any way to stop this rush by East Boston. All running so far on this drive.
Third down and 4 now for the Jets. It's Matera with the carry. Nate Matera inside the 10, and he is right on the first down marker.
Again, good second effort after he got hit. Took a couple more of the Bears to drop him down. This is going to be a first down. Yeah, the Bears want a timeout. Want to talk about this defense. Also want to sort of slow down this rush by the Jets. I mean, they're just grinding it out. Let's say, Pat, we go back to the standings real quick. Talk about West Roxbury, and okay, they're 3-2 overall. A couple of losses outside, but they're 3-0 in the league. And 12, that averaging 12 points just amazes me.
Oh, their defense has been the leading factor for them so far. Our sideline reporter John Skudras has got an update for us. John, what do you have?
Thanks, Pat. I mentioned during the pregame the loss of the experience on the offensive line for East Boston. Keep an eye on number 76 in blue, Big Dom Del Vecchio. He stands tall at 6'4", 255 pounds, and Coach Parziali and his coaching staff are moving him around the line, whether it be on the left side or the right side, to whichever the strong side is that the team is going to be attacking on offense. Also a thing to keep an eye on, I overheard the coaches discussing this week at practice, working on bubble screens and RPOs, run pass options, where the quarterback Russo has the option of handing it off to one of his dynamic backs or dishing it out on a bubble screen to try to catch the defense off guard. Back to you.
Thanks very much, John. So certainly East Boston trying a few different ways to get guys in the open field.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, we didn't even mention the quarterback as one of the runners. He definitely is.
Now on 1st and goal, they give it to Matera. Nice run by Nate, who's in for a touchdown.
Again, you use these different angles. You run inside, you run outside, and like I said, for the Bears defense, it's a guessing game as to who actually has the football.
So 12-play, 70-yard drive for the Jets. It's capped off by the 9-yard touchdown run from Nate Matera, who made up for that fumble earlier in the game.
You know he's going to run hard. I mean, he's also another one of the seniors who wants to have an excellent ending to at least his home field career.
Matera now with 35 yards here in the first quarter, and they give it to Matera again, trying for the 2-point conversion, and he's unable to punch it in. So both teams scoring touchdowns here in the first quarter, neither able to convert 2-point conversions, but we're tied up at 6 here with 2:54 left to go in the first quarter.
It looks like that touchdown is probably the easiest run of the entire drive. And again, it's more sort of trickery in just using the angles and the fact that they used 4 different running backs on that drive. Bears just never were able to guess right as to who has the ball. The coaches really love that. When you can get the football and just run every single play, not have to take the chance of a pass at all, it makes everybody comfortable. And just like John Scudder mentioned, the fact that there are some key linemen who weren't starters last year, but now have that responsibility. You'd like to see them be able to control the line of scrimmage like that.
Shiner now with the squib kick that East Boston always loves, but yeah, fielded beautifully at the 46.
Yeah, one of the up guys was able to get it.
That's Walter Stockwell with the recovery.
He's only a sophomore, but watch this. Stockwell scoops this up like he's a wide receiver. And the important thing is puts 2 arms on the ball, not trying to do anything wild. Just keep possession, get a few yards out of it, get his team close to midfield.
You see Esau Jackson, who made his first start a couple of weeks ago. His transition to quarterback has allowed Marcus Gonzalez to be the running back and clearly excel as the running back. We saw that on the first play. Well, you know, Raul Brown mentioned that he thought Marcus Gonzalez was one of, if not the best football player in the city of Boston. And, well, after that touchdown run, I don't know if I want to argue with him. We'll see him here.
To his collection, exactly.
On first down, he picks up about 2. So Gonzalez with a short pickup there.
And it's one of those things, like I said, last time we saw TechBoston, they got beat 12-0 by that good Latin Academy team. And Gonzalez just had a tough night, but the few, even though they didn't score, the few times they drove the ball at all, he was running the ball from the quarterback position. So it's not surprising to see that switch made, and the results have just been amazing. Back-to-back 30-point games.
Second down and 8 now for the Bears. The handoff to Gonzalez. Bounces it to the outside. Now shoves off a tackler. Gonzalez to the corner. And he's right on the first down marker.
On that one play, Pat, he went from a possible 2-yard loss to like a 13-yard gain. Watch it. He has to bounce out to the side because the hole's not there. Right there, bounces out. A lot of regular backs would have been tackled right there for a loss. Another bounce to the sideline. Keeps himself in bounds, just close enough to the sideline to get the first down and then finish off out of bounds.
So that is a first down for TechBoston as they're now in East Boston territory at the 41-yard line. This time they pitch it to Gonzalez, and Marcus looking for some room, now cuts it back up the middle, shakes another tackle, and he's dropped at the 37.
So it takes gang tackling for him. Got an injured Bear in the backfield there. Watch Gonzalez again. Oh, that bad. Ooh, hit his knee. His blocker in front of him. Gonzalez fighting hard to get some yardage, but yeah, you can see that play. That's tough. His left knee got hyperextended. Tough break too. He's just thrown a block and he's trying to get downfield to help more, but the East Boston defender watched it again. Fully right there. You see that left knee is just hyperextended.
Dyron Diaz is the man on the ground right now for the Jets. For the Bears.
That usually happens when you don't see the defender coming at you, so you don't have a chance to either brace yourself or to step away. Let's just hope it's only a hyperextension because right now he's trying to describe exactly what it feels like to the trainers, and that's the toughest part. They have a protocol. They'll check all the angles of the actual joint, but they also have to listen to the player and say, okay, where is the pain coming from? So you see right there, he's rolling over now. So unfortunately, it looks like it's a pretty serious situation.
Yeah, the one thing with high school players too is, a lot of times this is the first or second or third year of somebody playing football, and they don't know what an injury feels like.
Exactly.
They don't know exactly what it means.
So it's tough to describe.
Right.
All they can describe is like maybe where the pain is, and that's. But the good thing is, a lot of precautions get taken now. I'm sure we probably won't see him the rest of the game, just so they can have that leg checked out. I'm going to try to let him get up and see if he can put any kind of weight on it, which it doesn't look like he can.
Dyron Diaz now going to have to go to the sideline.
Yeah, there's definitely at least a hyperextension. You can tell from just the replay. Good job with the replay cameras for that. There's definitely a hyperextension of that left knee, the left leg. So that's why he's putting no weight at all on it. We'll definitely have to get that X-ray. That's one of the toughest parts of this game. It's a fun game, great game actually, but injuries, especially to young players, it's
when you hear high school players, sometimes their careers are ending in high school
that's right.
because of injuries. It's just Their careers haven't even gotten started. 2nd down and 6 now for Tech Boston, and Jackson fumbles the football, and it is loose on the ground. Looks like Tech Boston has recovered.
Trying to pull out away from the snap a little too quickly that time, but
I think that was Stockwell who pounced on it.
Saved the possession for his team.
So no gain on 2nd down after the fumble.
So he pulls away a little too quickly without securing the football. And like you mentioned, Stockwell was alert enough to see it. You gotta love those linemen when they're able to help out like that.
It might be the only chance they get to touch the ball, too.
Exactly,
so they'll take every opportunity they can. Now on 3rd and 6, it's Jackson, and unable to get the ball to Laquan Gilks. Probably wouldn't have been able to do much with it.
He really covered. I mean, and again, that shows some, I think, some of the inexperience of the quarterback, because that was a play that was totally covered. Normally, it is a rollout. So on this one, his judgment later on will be, I'll keep this, just try to make something myself, because there you see the coverage was that close, which made him throw an errant pass.
Just over 6 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. 4th down and 6 now for the Bears. So we'll see what they do here to end the first quarter.
Yeah, 4-down territory. No sense in punting this, because the punt might actually go into the end zone. Got Gonzalez back there. Time for like a screen. Something with him involved.
This time the handoff to Kadir Green with a nice run, but he's chopped down short of the 30.
That safety came up and prevented the 1st down. Josh Rivera. That's back-to-back plays for Rivera, because he actually was the one in coverage on that 3rd down play to make an incomplete pass. Now he comes up and is able to get the ball back for the Jets. Yep, that's in the first quarter.
And it looks like that is going to do it for the first quarter. The Bears are out there right now. And it is going to be the first quarter here at Satorti Stadium. Marcus Gonzalez keeps it going with a dazzling touchdown run. We're tied up at 6. We're right back for the second quarter here on Game of the Week, just after these words.
Green. Red hat. Oops. Red shirt. Blue shirt. Yellow shirt. Oops. Yellow pants. Red pants. Green pants. Oops.
Welcome back to Satorti Stadium in East Boston for our Week 6 matchup between the East Boston Jets and TechBoston Bears. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. A lot of good stuff up there. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. TechBoston Bears turned it over on downs to end the first quarter. Now in the second quarter, first possession of the quarter for the East Boston Jets, and they are dropped on 1st down.
Trying to sneak the fullback between tackles there, between the right guard and right tackle, but Bears are ready for that one.
Yeah, no gain on 1st down for Nate Matera, so it'll be 2nd down and a long 9 for the Jets. And now Coach Parziale wants to take a timeout.
Interesting. I think he might have recognized a different defensive formation for Tech Boston on that first play, which was very effective for them defensively. They basically held the fullback to no gain. As
the Jets take a timeout, our sideline reporter John Skudras has another update for us. John, what do you have?
Thanks, Pat. I got a chance to speak to number 4, Hector Martinez, our player to watch for East Boston coming into play today. Hector let me know that he did indeed break his arm last week and will be out an expected 4 to 8 weeks, which means, as he said, his season may be over. When I asked him, how he felt about all that and how that impacts the Jets, he had the right mindset. He said next man up, and he believes in his fellow teammates and his guys. And I don't see any reason for him not to believe in them with the way Nate Matera and company have been running the ball offensively. But that's the update on Martinez, out 4 to 8 weeks and certainly out tonight. Back to you.
Thanks very much, John. And yeah, we saw Hector down there with a cast on his arm, so broke his arm last week against West Roxbury, you know, a very physical team against the Jets. And, you know, he sort of takes away, like we mentioned before, that big playability from this offense a little bit.
Yeah, we had those nice highlights we have of him.
2nd down and 9 now for the Jets. It's Russo. Faces some pressure, and he's dragged down close to the line of scrimmage.
Boy, something happened between quarters for this defense for the TechBoston Bears. I mean, they're reacting much better to everything. This is a design pass play. He has no time to even look downfield, never mind even lift the ball for a pass. So, first, see, he barely got back to the line of scrimmage, so it's just a tackle, won't be considered a sack. A lot of times, all it takes is for defensive linemen, you can slide them one step over to either the right or the left. You can move a linebacker one step closer to the line of scrimmage. A lot of different things you can do defensively.
3rd down and 9 now for East Boston. Matera, the lone back in the backfield. They run the end around to Josh Rivera, who's got a crease. And he's dropped just short of the 1st down.
See that last step? Yeah, he went down. He's going to be short.
Tackled at the 42, so picked up probably 7 yards on that play.
That was a good job by Rivera, though. End around, and we've seen that. Most of the high school teams have this in their arsenal. You just get thrown, knocked off balance a bit. Otherwise, he was going to try to just step out to the sideline. So 4th and about, what, 2? Yeah, a little more than 2. Confident East Boston offense go for this.
Yeah, now Coach Parziale wants to take a timeout. He might be rethinking this.
Yeah, what? Well, I mean, they have such variety. It's not. I mean, it's not a huge risk. I mean, you're on in your own territory, which is always a risk. But the way his offense has been able to. I mean, we mentioned the first quarter, they're averaging over 5 yards a carry. So even though we've seen TechBoston start out well here, 2nd quarter defensively, Eastie has the confidence, or they might just try to draw him offside.
4th and 2, they do run it and pick up the 1st down as Matera gets the carry past the 45 up to the 46.
Yeah, that's been there pretty much. I mean, Matera, like you said, Pat, and trying to make up for that fumble on the 2nd play of the game. Straight handoff, 2 arms on the football. Good job, gets the 1st down. Got double wide receivers out here to the right.
Another good run here from the Jets. I think that was Matera again on the carry.
Yeah, Jets are trying to spread.
No, that was Angelo Blake. Excuse me.
Again. They're trying to spread out the defense. That time they had 2 wide receivers to the right and the 3rd receiver over to the left, forcing some pass coverage in the defensive backfield. And they want to sneak Blake in there, try to get him some running room.
Second down and 5 now for the Jets. It's Blake again with the carry, and Angelo deep inside TechBoston territory now at the 43.
Good burst by Blake. You see his steps outside. Good block to allow him to cut back. Both Blake and Matera having really good first halves.
First and 10 now for the Jets. From the TechBoston 43, it's Matera making his way up to the 39-yard line. So it's Blake, Matera. They go back and forth here. And as John said, you know, Hector Martinez is going to be out probably the rest of the season. Next man up, you got a couple more running backs that can carry the football for you. We also saw a couple weeks ago Christian Fadu also getting some carries. So the Jets still have guys that they can hand the ball.
Oh, no doubt. They're one of the – each year, they're one of the programs that have the highest numbers in terms of players in uniform. some of them are obviously younger players, but the fact that you have a freshman so excited to want to play because they know it's a 4-year process, and eventually you stick with it. Work hard, okay? Get your conditioning right. You're going to end up playing more than likely a little sophomore year, more your junior year, and of course everyone wants to finish off strong as a senior starter. It's about 11 seniors on the East Boston team. Jets will take another timeout. Yeah, the fullback for East Boston, Matera, has 11 carries out so far, and we're just midway through the second quarter.
He's been the high volume running back so far here in the first half. Angelo Blake a couple weeks ago actually at the start of the season hurt his ankle. Just got back 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, he has that.
I don't know if they'll give him the full workload
well, he has,
because of that.
Yeah, he's taped up pretty heavily because he has tape on the outside of his cleats also.
2nd down and 6 now for the Jets.
There's Blake. Yep.
There's Blake on the scissor play, and nice cut by Angelo as he's dropped at the 31-yard line.
And now it looks like by mixing up the angles of these plays, like you said, that scissor action to the right, come back to the left. Blake, good job cutting inside. They'll get a holding penalty on that one. Tough break. That was a nice run by Blake. It's going to push the Jets back. Oh, it's a spot foul, too. That was way back behind the line of scrimmage.
Blue.
Referee tonight, Earl Garrett.
Repeat 2nd down.
Turn the mic on, Earl. Come on. Turn up the volume or something,
use
right?
those vocal cords.
I was going to say. And he can yell, too. He was a former gym teacher.
Right.
Gym teacher and coach. So Earl's been loving being an official for years now.
As you've mentioned in the past, had a cup of coffee in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. He played at Boston State back in the early 70s and ended up with the Minnesota Vikings organization. Played, I know he played one season, and then I think a part of a second season before he came back to Boston.
So they put the Jets back all the way to their own 49-yard line. 2nd down and 17 now for East Boston. We got another pre-snap whistle.
For a game to start out so smooth and clean.
Delay
now
game.
We're having
Offense.
delay game.
He's got the fly.
Now East Boston is challenging when the play clock starts. You see Partiality saying, coach said, "I can count 2. That wasn't a penalty."
Usually,
I was going to say, go on, a lot of times the penalty, after the penalty's walked off, ball is placed, clock's supposed to start then for the play. But if the team is just adjusting to how far back we are, sometimes you do get the huddle a little off kilter.
So now on 2nd down, they try to get it to Rivera, who slips one tackle, but can't slip another as he's dropped at the 39-yard line. Jets are moving backwards right now.
Moving backwards, but I'm telling you, they were a split second away from a big sack. Watch the left of your screen. You watch this pass rush. Good job to get the ball off. Roscoe White was looking for like a 15-yard sack on the play.
Yeah, but Demba Ba coming up with the tackle there on Josh Rivera.
Yeah, that penalty was a killer. And more so because, like we said, it's a spot foul. You mark it off from where the hold took place. That particular penalty was behind the line of scrimmage, so it was more than a regular 10-yard penalty.
3rd and 27 now for the Jets. And Russo going to the right side. It's caught by Restrepo. Restrepo then is brought down at the 35, about 2.5 yards short of the first down.
But you can go for it on 4th down now. That was a good job, good adjustment by Restrepo to come back because the ball is fluttered up there somehow. Now watch him come back, breaks his pattern, come back to the football. Good job, keeps his knees off the turf, is able to add another 5 yards. So now this is a very makeable 4th down situation.
Yeah, if you're East Boston, you're going from
no doubt,
maybe punting the ball to now he very easily could pick up the
Where's
first
the
down
fullback?
here.
Where's the fullback?
Where's Nate Matera?
That's
He's in there. You got Matera, Looks like Angelo Blake is the deep back. No, that's Fuedo who gets the carry on 4th down and picks up more. Christian Fuedo to the outside. And he's forced out of bounds inside the 15.
That's the additional runner you were talking about. Only a sophomore. But Christian's made the most of his carry.
So Fuedo with the carry.
Got a good block from Matera in front of him. Ran through that arm tackle. Shift the ball to the outside arm like you're supposed to, and just gets forced out of bounds, not after a huge gain and a big first down.
Jets now at the 12-yard line on 1st down. They give it to Matera, who's then brought down at the 10-yard line.
They love that off-tackle play with Matera. I mean, he's gotten a lot of yards out of it. Got the touchdown in the first quarter for East Boston with that play. He's simply off-tackle. It's his own blocking. And he just picks wherever this room, just go straight ahead.
Yeah, but Demba Ba again with the tackle there for the TechBoston Bears. 2nd down and 8 now for East Boston. It's Russo rolling to his right, looking to the middle. Touchdown, Josh Rivera.
Really well done. Nice fake by Russo. That's what started the whole thing. He faked the handoff. Watch him fake the handoff. That threw off the defense, and by that time, he had Rivera running that crossing pattern in the end zone. Actually, he had Vasquez right next to Rivera, so either one of them, they were both open. And we're used to not seeing a whole lot of passing this season thus far, but Russo so far has 62 yards, 4 for 4, and that touchdown. Start the game off with that big pass play.
That's right.
First play from scrimmage.
Jets now trying to tack on the 2-point conversion. They were unsuccessful on their first touchdown. Fadu with the carry.
That's Christian.
And Christian's chopped down short of the goal line. So once again, Jets unable to convert the 2-point conversion.
They tried the scissor play again. It was successful with Blake earlier. But watch again. This is the touchdown. Rolls out. This is the pass option we talked about. And he has, like I say, he has 2 of his teammates open. Josh Rivera, senior, listed as a tight end, but Josh has some speed. He can be more of a combination, split end and tight end. And you can see with the touchdown catch, good hands.
13-play, 67-yard touchdown drive for the Jets after the touchdown catch from Josh Rivera. So now East Boston with a 6-point lead.
And the most impressive play, that huge pass play on 3rd down to allow them to go for it on the 4th and short to set up the touchdown.
TechBoston looking to answer after that touchdown drive from the Jets. Easty again with that squib kick that's going to be fielded by Gonzalez at the 21. Marcus Gonzalez back up the middle of the field. Look at the speed from Gonzalez. Past the 50 rather, up to the 46-yard line.
That was amazing. It looked like he was going to be trapped back at the 25. Had a tough time corralling the ball, but once he got it, watch this here. 21-yard line. Like you said, just one little jab step there. This is where the speed goes. He runs by and just finally gets knocked down. Was that Fuedo? Yes, Christian Fuedo saved what possibly could have been a kickoff return touchdown. And watch from the ground level. This is where you can see the speed a little better as he's just flying by those Jets. This Fuedo used the angle to get him from the side.
33-yard kick return for Marcus Gonzalez, and now TechBoston's got to take a timeout.
Take a timeout, let him catch his breath because they want to hand it off to him.
Right.
So he just went 33 tough yards on that kickoff. Get 5 timeouts and a half. Use it. I think we might actually see TechBoston try to mix some things up. So I'm sure that with the younger quarterback, they want to remind him exactly what his responsibilities are.
You see the East Boston contingent on hand on senior night for the Jets. TechBoston now with a 1st and 10 from the Eastie 46-yard line. The handoff to Gonzalez. And Gonzalez this time with a more pedestrian run up to the 40-yard line. Very tough, hard-nosed run there for Marcus.
Simple handoff, and even though the Jets are keying on him, obviously, he just keeps those legs churning. They don't have the weights listed by it. I know that the first game we did, one of the coaches said he's about 220 pounds.
On second down now, it's Gonzalez again. And this time he's wrapped up right around the 37-yard line. So I think that's the 38.
We've seen him be patient with his running. That time, almost like he ran up the back of his blocker. Out in front of him, he had Roscoe White. But watch what happens. See, White's trying to make a block, and usually in that case, we'll see Gonzalez sort of jab step or hesitate to have the defender get out of the way, but a little anxious that time.
So a crucial third down coming up for Tech Boston, certainly in 4-down territory.
Oh, yeah,
they'll be faced with a 3rd and long 2.
About 2, yeah, a minute to go before halftime, or a minute 35 rather.
That's the other thing for the Bears. Once they get this first down, if they do get this first down, then they got to start thinking about the clock.
Right. Well, they
should have a couple timeouts left.
Yeah, I was just thinking looks like they have 2 left. Yep. If the scoreboard's correct.
Which is always a big if.
That's it. Well,
but that's what our truck has. 3 timeouts left for the Jets.
We'll go with it.
2 Tech Boston.
Fun game. I mean, both teams they've played exciting offense and decent defense. I mean, 18 points between these two. I mean, it's like we said earlier, it's been a bizarre season in terms of scoring.
That's right.
For both these teams. The Tech Boston comes into this game with back-to-back 30-point games. East Boston had one huge game, one 30-point game, but then other games they've been held pretty low. But tonight they're in good shape.
3rd and 2 now for the Bears. They hand off to Gonzalez. He's got a crease. And he's wrapped up at the 32, but he's definitely got enough for the first down.
They want to hurry up a bit now. They want to. They're going to take a timeout. Okay, it's Gonzalez again, reading his blocks, runs through the arm tackles, and good job that time coming up from the safety. Yeah, so it's. I'm not sure if they're talking to the quarterback that much. Usually it means they're going to try something a little different. Like you said, Pat, the time is as much a issue as the East Boston defense.
The Bears did take a timeout there, so they should only have 1 remaining.
They should have, yeah, I think they took it off the wrong side of the scoreboard.
Now on first down from the 32-yard line. Jackson rolling to his right, looking for Gonzalez. Marcus now with a little stutter step, but nowhere to go. Good job defensively.
Yeah, that's exactly why you're talking to your sophomore quarterback. Yeah, Esau threw that behind Gonzalez. Really didn't give him any chance to get ahead of steam at all. He's trying to be careful. Watch it. He's rolling out. There's Gonzalez. You see the ball's behind him, so that gives him no chance at all. Has to stop totally and then try to start again. Keeps his balance, still fights. I mean, he's an amazing athlete. He really is. I mean, he has 3 guys hanging on him. He was trying to get out of bounds to stop the clock, but now we're under a minute.
Yeah, 55 seconds and counting now for halftime. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 now for the Bears. And this time they pitch it to Gonzalez.
Oh, nice block.
Nice cut block. But Gonzalez hurdling a defender. And then down at the 20-yard line.
They have to use one here because he didn't get out of bounds. Watch this block. Left your screen, 79 away. You see him falling. And there's the total hurdle. No contact at all. Allows him to get inside the 20-yard. He was trying his best to get out of bounds to start the clock, but that hurdle took away some of the opportunity to get to the sideline.
Dom Russo trying to stay loose. Clock continuing to wind down, so the Bears have not taken a timeout.
Well, I think they're figuring they have 2. No, there's no. The clock shouldn't have been running. Now they're going to try to fix it. So they're gonna play on on the referee's signal.
Official time is kept on the field by the refereeing crew. As you see Gonzalez again with the pitch.
This time he'll go out of bounds.
Yeah, nowhere to go with it that time for Marcus as he stays out of bounds.
Yeah, see, and also the timeouts. See the timeouts are also an issue. So this time he goes out of bounds. They may. I think you're right, Pat. The scoreboard has the incorrect amount of timeouts. TechBoston might be out of timeouts. And if that's the case, they're going to have to throw the football to try to get the score before halftime. Well, they still have Gonzalez as the deep back in the eye, so maybe they have one left.
Jackson trying for the screen, but the receiver, Laquan Gilks,
well, the ball was
had to take a knee on it.
It was underthrown. They were trying to get the wide receiver screen.
And
a couple of timeouts that they took earlier in the game, they're really hurting them now because they need him to keep this drive going, but at this point they might just have one play left.
I think because of the time confusion that the Bears will have one more play left.
Yeah, it was an incomplete pass, so the clock should have stopped.
3rd down and 13 now for TechBoston. Jackson just chucking it up there, and it is intercepted out of bounds by Casey Vasquez, so incomplete once again.
Now the officials have to determine if there's time for one more play. Do you see? You saw just throwing it up. I'm a little surprised you haven't seen like a pitch to Gonzalez to let him throw the football.
Halfback pass or something to that effect. So that was a turnover on downs. So now the Jets will probably have about one play before halftime. Yeah, in the truck we had it being 4th down now, so there's some not sure what happened there unless that interception was caught inbounds. And the Jets are just going to kneel on it, so it doesn't really matter. So that is going to do it for the first half here at Satorti Stadium as the East Boston Jets lead the TechBoston Bears 12-6 here at the half. And if you look at the first half there, obviously TechBoston, they get the fumble and they score the touchdown. And then the Jets come back with 2 touchdowns of their own. So East Boston recovering nicely after that early turnover.
Very nice. I was just going to say, we're talking about teams who have scored a lot in previous games, and a lot of similarities in terms of their ability to play offense and defense. Jets got stung by that fumble on the second play of the game. Right, and then we saw that amazing run by Gonzalez to give TechBoston the lead. But you gotta like the fact, and a lot of it is involved. The senior night, the emotion of the 11 seniors from the Jets playing well, because a couple of those seniors, the two running backs, have been the entire offense for them so far, along with the quarterback, who's had a couple of nice plays. So 12-6, pretty well played. I mean, the second quarter we have more penalties, but I think we'll see both teams settle down in the third quarter. It's going to be more, as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be a matter of can the Jets defense try to bottle up Gonzalez, because he's going to continue to get carries, going to continue to get the ball. He's almost at 100 yards now, first half. And as far as TechBoston is concerned, they've got to also defensively be able to read who the ball carrier is on every play, because they've gotten fooled pretty badly a couple of times, and I think they're lucky to just have given up 12 points so far.
That's right. I mean, certainly the Bears are lucky to not only give up 12, but also, East Boston is probably a little bit lucky that they've only given up 6, because we have seen some big plays from Gonzalez in the first half where he almost broke another one.
Well, and I think in the second half we'll see him break another one because he's just that good. And, I mean, the guarding numbers of over 500 yards in the last 2 games, you can see how he's earned those.
No question. Marcus Gonzalez with a very good first half. His head coach, Raul Brown, is with our sideline reporter, John Skudris, down on the field. So, John, take it away.
With TechBoston coach Raul Brown. And, Coach, first half you guys got off to a strong start offensively. That first drive was very energetic. But since then, you guys have been lagging behind a little bit. Any adjustments you're going to be making here in the second half?
Well, we're missing a couple key blocks. EC is doing a really good job running the ball. A lot of our guys are going both ways, so naturally they're getting tired. But we prepare them enough to make sure they can be prepared for situations like this. So we'll go inside in the locker room and talk to them and make some adjustments. Defensively,
you guys have been doing a solid job against the interior runs and the misdirection plays they run. But against the pass, you guys have given up a couple of big plays. Is that something you guys prepared for, or are they catching you a little off guard there?
Oh, they're just catching players off guard. A lot of times our players are supposed to be in man, and they're just looking into the backfield and not handling their responsibilities. So we'll go inside, we'll check that stuff, make sure we fix our small mistakes, and then see where these guys are. Like, once again, I want to give credit to EC. They're doing a really good job in the first half, and we'll come back out and make sure we respond.
Great job, and best of luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
It's Coach Raul Brown of TechBoston. They trail 12-6 at halftime in this critical battle in the Boston City League. I'm John Skudris. Back up to you.
John, thanks very much, and certainly Coach Brown
sounds pretty confident, actually.
Yeah,
I mean, he nailed it. I mean, on offense, missed a couple of things, and defense, the guys, trying to, look in the backfield when they're supposed to be up in man coverage. That's how you get burned.
That's right. I mean, we saw that.
That's how you get burned for big pass plays. So if he makes that one adjustment, telling those guys to be more disciplined, see the guy you're covering in man, make sure you stay with him before you start looking to come up to make a tackle. But again, see, and we noticed it in that first quarter. They were getting confused. They were guessing who had the ball. Good job by the backfield of East Boston to really camouflage whether it was the material, the fullback or Blake, and then later on you had Christian come in, and he was able to get that big fourth down play.
A nice run as well. So a lot of different guys for the East Boston Jets. Well, a lot of these high school football teams certainly get involved in a lot of different community service projects and things like that, and charities, but the Boston Latin School Wolfpack got involved in a charity a few years ago that hit very close to home. So we're going to take a look at that story right now.
No one likes to stay at the hospital, especially young children. But thanks to Anna's pals, stays for families at Boston Children's Hospital are made a little easier.
So Anna's Pal tries to make the stay at Children's Hospital more comfortable for the kids and for the families. So they'll help with parking costs for families coming to visit.
We bring pillows and sheets and blankets and toys and games and activities and other fun things for the kids to do while they're in the hospital.
It really helps support everyone through the process and try to make it go as well as it possibly can.
Anna's Pals is a nonprofit organization founded by the family and friends of Anna Jerome, a former student athlete at Boston Latin.
She loved the school. She loved everything it had to offer. She was on the swim team, she was on the track team, she excelled in academics, math being her favorite subject. She just loved everything.
She was definitely very bubbly and always happy, and she could always cheer anybody up no matter what was going on. She was the right person. She knew what to say to everybody at the right time.
At the young age of 14, Anna was diagnosed with AML, an aggressive form of leukemia. After her diagnosis, she began treatments at Children's Hospital.
She gave herself one day to cry about it, and she just said, all right, now we're just going to do this. We're going to do what they tell us so we can get out of here.
Friends and family all pitched in when Anna was being treated, including her Boston Latin School classmate and twin brother, Will, who was a football player for the Boston Latin Wolfpack.
Her guidance counselor, Miss Wong, made sure that Will was in all the same classes as Anna, so his coach would let him be late for practice. He'd leave school, run to Children's, which was across the street, give her homework and her assignments, and bolt back to practice.
But while her kind spirit never wavered, the aggressive leukemia took its toll. On October 2nd, 2014, Anna Jerome passed away at Boston Children's Hospital.
Obviously, after that happens with someone, everybody wants to do something, and we were trying to put our heads together. What can we do?
Right after she passed away, her best friend Maggie came over with just an orange t-shirt and it said Anna's Pals on it, and that was just kind of the beginning of it all. We were just like, oh, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make a better situation out of what we were dealt.
You know, Anna's Pals just kind of came in, it gave us all a focus. So instead of wandering around aimlessly, it just gave us all some way to focus on something and to be positive about the experience instead of, you know, moping around about Anna. Put her name to good use and think positively of her and share with others how great she was.
Along with Anna's friends and family, Boston Latin School pitched in to help develop their newly formed nonprofit organization.
You know, we just figured that this was the cause that we wanted to rally around. We've done some Coaches versus Cancer things. We've raised money for a variety of nonprofits, a variety of causes, but this one's so close to home that we wanted to hitch our wagons to this one. Girls basketball, girls volleyball, boys and girls lacrosse, you name it, that raise money for Anna's Pals consistently throughout the year, whether it's gate receipts from a game or certain fundraisers that they run, food sales during games.
But perhaps the biggest assist to Anna's Pals came from the Boston Latin football team, who were a natural fit to help the newly found organization.
My first year, Will was a senior captain, and one of the things I had said to the teams, we're going to look for some community work and find a charity to be involved with, and that was just a natural fit.
The partnership between Anna's Pals and the Boston Latin football program has gone on to become a huge success. The football team's different drives and fundraisers have helped the nonprofit expand their reach of helping patients at Boston Children's Hospital. And the Wolfpack have learned life lessons that reach far beyond the high school football field.
Here, the first year with Will there, we had maybe 5-6 boxes full of candy, so like, you know, we couldn't lift them up. And then later that year, we did a video game drive, and we collected the games, and then they went and they sold all the games to EB or whatever the name, GameSpot, whatever it is nowadays, and they got a gift card so then they could buy the game that they wanted to fit the system for the kids that are at stay at Children's.
There's teenagers in Children's and they have, you know, little kid games, so unfortunately I bought Call of Duty and those kinds of games for those kids because the older kids wanted to play them and they didn't have them, so that was nice to have that.
It doesn't take a lot from you to really give to someone else and to make someone else's day a little bit better, you know, and I hope they learn that as one of the lessons as we try to build their character and build their sense of community.
In addition to making an impact in the lives of Children's Hospital patients, Boston Latin's football program's participation also made an impact on one of their own.
I didn't realize how kind of much it meant to Will, and I think neither did his mom until Danny V did an article on him, and it was the first time I guess he really talked about it. And so it was, you know, it meant a lot to his family to hear, wow, we're really hearing his feelings. And it meant a lot to me and us as a coaching staff to see that we could help facilitate this for you, Will, and to have you come to terms as best you can with all this and have a positive outlet for dealing with your loss.
His teammates in the football team really helped Will cope with everything that happened, and his teammates were, he couldn't be home with us, we were too hard for him to deal with, but his football teammates were really what kept him going and gave him some focus.
Now, almost 4 years after Anna's Pals' conception, the nonprofit organization has continued to evolve. Along with its steadfast support of the families at Boston Children's, Anna's Pals has their sights set on a new project that will impact the children they serve for years to come.
Their long-term goal is to raise enough money to form this beach house, to construct from the ground up, basically an immune-safe beach house for these kids with bad respiratory systems, cancer, all those sort of things.
You can't use a public bathroom because of the chemo wipes out your immune system, so you can't be around anything that's not specifically cleaned and designed for the safety of these kids. So Anna's Pals would like to build a beach house for these kids so they can have a place to go, so these families can regroup and revisit each other and really have some quality time together.
So we want to have a beach house that everyone can go to and the families can spend quality time together and make some good memories. It'll really just be great for all the kids and for the community. I feel like everyone will just feel really bound together, and it will feel really great to put her name to good use and not just like say, oh yeah, this, like my sister passed away, but be like, no, we have this whole organization that helps so many kids that were like her.
there you have it, Anna's pals. You have a family from Boston Latin School whose son obviously played football, and they still have
we did a couple
their
of
younger
games.
daughters.
Yeah,
and we did
a
couple of their games.
Halfback. Yeah,
very good player for Boston Latin. And they, as Will's mother said, Chris Jerome, she said, we took something that was obviously very tough for their family and turned it into a positive, and now have this great charity that's helping a lot of kids over at Boston.
It's amazing. They'll build a beach house. That's I mean, just shows you how much it's grown in the last couple of years.
That's right. And I think that they'll be able to get to that goal. It's going to take a little while, but I think that's something they can achieve. We got some halftime stats here from this game, so we're going to take a look at those right now. And, of course, first up, we're going to take a look at the TechBoston Bears.
TechBoston, Gonzalez, as expected, 10 carries, 85 yards. Green has 5 on 1 carry. Receiving, Gonzalez it was thrown to once, hasn't had a catch yet. The sophomore quarterback has had a tough time. He's only 2 for 4, had an interception, and has no positive yardage in the air.
Let's take a look at the East Boston.
East Boston spread out across the sheet. Matera, 12 for 49 yards, 47 yards for Blake on 8 carries. Receiving, Rivera's got 3 catches for 37 yards, 1 big catch for Restrepo. That was that big third down play for 25 yards. And Russo's had a nice game quietly, 4 for 4. 62 yards and a touchdown.
So there you have it, the stats. We're just about set to go here to start the third quarter, as the East Boston Jets will be kicking off to the TechBoston Bears. Easty with that 6-point lead. We'll see if TechBoston can respond here to start the third quarter. Another one of those kicks that goes off the foot of TechBoston, and we'll see if they recovered it. We've seen East Boston do that so many times in the past.
A little bit of a scrum out. Look, you're right. It hit his foot, but I think he might have had the agility to bounce right on it.
And Noah Shiner was the kicker on that play. Certainly Nate Matera with a very good first half for East Boston. We got some highlights of him.
Big fullback.
What he was able to do on the ground.
Number 40, that off tackle play. They used it the entire half. As a matter of fact, he scored like their first touchdown off this play. He's been, there's a touchdown right there. I mean, it was one of the easier runs, not much contact at all. Meanwhile, we have Matera again. He had the most individual carries for the half. Like we saw with the stats, he had 49 yards.
Looks like there must have been some kind of.
Yeah, I think there
was offsides for East Boston, so they're going to have to kick it again.
It's a good break for TechBoston, because the officials never actually said who recovered the football.
Coach Parziale now looking for an explanation.
Yeah,
kind of like we are too.
A little confusion.
Now TechBoston thinks they have the ball.
Yeah, it seems that. Let's watch if we have a play of the.
Way on the outside there.
That left side.
He's about 3 yards offside. Nice job on the truck, guys.
Now, I think right now the confusion is TechBoston wanted the ball. They want the ball where
the penalty.
So they apparently recovered it. So they just want the ball because it's going to be over midfield.
Yeah, so they recovered at the 47. So then they tack on the 5-yard penalty after that, I believe. So that's why now TechBoston has it at the East Boston 48.
They want to get this going.
Already in Eastie territory, they give it to Gonzalez, who slips a tackle. Marcus Gonzalez falls forward past the 40-yard line up to the 37.
Yeah, another injured TechBoston Bear in the backfield. Behind the play, actually, is Gonzalez again. He runs through those arm tackles. The East Boston players got to put some more shoulder into trying to get to him. So there's the it's a tough situation. It appears that it was one of his teammates in the backfield trying to help him with a block.
Can't quite see the number. Looked like it might have been 64.
Yeah, 64.
See if we get a replay on the injury.
Again, we'll swatch.
It was 54, excuse me.
Yeah, as you see.
It's Andrew Bornavave.
He was one of the lead blockers on the play, checking that left leg. He was able to put a little bit of weight on it.
So Andrew Bordenave is helped off the field. We'll see if he returns. It looks like he's shaking it off.
He's trying to.
A little bit.
He's a junior. And of course, one of the important offensive linemen making room for Gonzalez, their pretty amazing tailback.
So they gave Gonzalez the first down. I thought he was short of it, but they didn't give it to him.
I think that last dive, they gave it to him. He has a way of just squeezing out extra yard or so after he's being tackled. Oh, they changed this cage. East Boston.
No, the Jets jumped off sides, but I don't know if they
make contact. Yeah, so that's
I think it was the Bears who actually moved. So they're going to back them up 5 to the 43.
First time they really used a long count. TechBoston, I think they were, and they got what they thought they got what they wanted, getting East Boston to jump. But like I said, there was no, like you said, there's no contact. So it's not offside if they're able to get back already. I think Earl Garrett's actually explaining to the TechBoston huddle.
Thank you.
Because the TechBoston kids thought that there was going to be an offside penalty. One of them moves, and that created the procedure for sound penalty.
1st and 15 now for the Bears from the Eastie 43. It's Gonzalez again with the carry. And he's tripped up at the 36. So about a 7-yard pickup there on first down.
Again, safety's coming up to make these tackles, but let's watch Gonzalez again in between the guard and the tackle. Gotta go his legs. He's just too strong to try to tackle him up high.
7-yard pickup there as we get another look at it.
You see him from the yard. He's now up to 101 yards with 12 carries.
Now on second down, it's Gonzalez trying to find the corner. What a cut from Gonzalez inside the 25. And they'll mark him down at the 24-yard line.
Well, there's the handoff. Able to get it out to the outside arm. Nice cut. Wow. Cornerback looked like he had him. And that's the strength you talked about earlier, Pat, that upper body strength. You always, it's great to have strong legs, but when you also combine it with upper body strength, then that's when you're talking about moving the pile, talking about having 1 or 2 guys not able to bring you down by themselves.
Yeah, 12-yard run that time for Gonzalez, so another first down for the Bears. Now at the East Boston 25-yard line. Give it to Gonzalez, and this time he's going to be wrapped up in the backfield.
Yes, this time it's you had East Boston come with a blitz, guessed correctly, and they went to the right position. That's the key to a blitz. They went to see they're already there. That's Rivera. Rivera's a tight end and a linebacker. 15 actually got the touchdown pass too early in the first half. That time, if your defense gets us right in the blitz, we saw that a lot in the Brighton game, the Brighton and Latin Academy. Brighton, from being behind, was forced to go to the blitz. And here comes a big loss. First time that we've seen Gonzalez going for a loss.
So 5-yard loss on the play. Second down and 15 now for TechBoston. Again with the man in motion. Again, they pitch it to Gonzalez, and this time he's got some more room. Gonzalez inside the 25 down to the 24. So right back to where they started before that big loss on first down.
I tell you, the cheerleaders over here right in front of us from TechBoston, they're enjoying this game. They know it's going to go to number 3, so as soon you hear the screams as soon as he gets the pitch. But you're right, he made up a lot of that loss, tacked on a little bit of a game. But they got
now get a flag on the play. Wow. So that's going to push TechBoston back again.
Wow, big one. This is
here we go.
It's a bad one.
Second down.
They got like 20. What's this? Second down, 26.
15-yard clipping penalty is what we're hearing from couple of our production assistants down on the field, so push TechBoston back 15 yards to the 40-yard line. After a good start to this drive, Bears are going backwards again.
They got single coverage on the wide side of the field. Yeah, Esau's little quarterback's he's a little confused.
The receiver to the outside there for TechBoston.
That's his first of the second half.
Yeah, he
was trying to.
He must be a
didn't line
player.
up right, and then Jackson was calling for him to motion over. He didn't motion over, so I think Coach Brown said, "Timeout.
We don't want
time for a timeout."
Play. Yeah,
right.
we gotta get something right. If the quarterback's saying you're not where you're supposed to be, or not where I want you to be,
right.
Now, in the first half, using the timeouts early hurt TechBoston because they had a drive inside the 25-yard line, but they were forced to waste a lot of time because they ran out of timeouts. Looks like they're going to run the same play.
Second down and
25. That's what it was. Okay. He's a lead blocker, right.
They try to throw it to Roscoe White, and he's unable to hang on to it. Yeah. Not sure how many yards he would have picked up.
Well, again, we're seeing the East Boston defenders, they're reading their keys much better here on this drive. I mean, they took a chance on the blitz, which worked for a loss. They got, the penalty helped a lot by really pushing the Bears back. So now the Bears are feeling like they're forced to do something other than just hand off to Gonzalez.
3rd and 25 now for TechBoston.
Okay, the penalty. Oh yeah. Okay, it's a spot penalty from the 30. It was a clip, so it's a spot penalty from where it happened.
Gonzalez now with the carry in the open field, and he plows forward up to the 16, very close to a first down.
I'd say, and when you watch him, it just seems like he really enjoys running so much. I mean, he knows he has some room, so he gets both those arms chugging. Then he lowers the shoulder to sort of run over Fuedo.
4th and 2 now for the Bears. It's Gonzalez with the carry.
No surprise
bounces
there.
To the outside. Touchdown. Marcus Gonzalez.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. I'm telling you, you got to feel. I mean, I'm laughing right now, but the coaching staff for TechBoston, they've got to be saying to themselves, what took us so long to figure out that he should be the tailback in an I formation?
8 plays, 48-yard touchdown drive for TechBoston. They can now go ahead if they convert this two-point conversion.
The first 3 touchdowns, neither team can make a conversion. Wow.
Gonzalez with 8 carries for the entire drive. Well over 100 yards rushing.
And mind you,
tonight.
This is a player who's being keyed on. They have linebackers, to try to follow him wherever he goes.
Now on the 2-point conversion, it's Jackson running the option. Esau trying to escape a rusher, and then he does pitch it to Gonzalez.
That's a sophomore quarterback. I mean, once he did his job to draw the defenders, but you got to, I think that's what Gonzalez is telling him right now. You got to pitch it earlier while we still have some room in the field. So, okay, watch this here. Here we go. Now, right here, he's drawn the defender. You pitch it right there. Pitch it right there because then Gonzalez has a chance to sneak in. But he waited until he was actually being tackled, which made it a bad pitch, too. But that's a little surprising. 4 touchdowns and no conversions at all.
As well as these two teams run the ball, too. You'd
Right.
think a short run like that, they would be able to convert. All right, sideline reporter John Scudras has an update for us. John? Looks like we're having some problems with John's mic. We'll see if we can get back to him at some point as TechBoston just about set to kick off.
Another flat football. Let's see if it's going to be a squib. It floated it.
That's fielded right around the 18-yard line.
His knee went down. Wow.
That's too bad. Looked like he had.
I tell you.
That's Fadou.
Earl's on the play. Well, that's his job.
The 19.
The referee is with the receivers. So he goes, yep, left knee went down. Yeah. Fuedo. Christian was trying to make something after he bobbled it the first time, but to secure the football, his left knee went down. That kills the play. Break for TechBoston, so to see if their defense can try to figure out some of these handoffs.
See how the Jets respond now on first down. The carry to like Fadou. Christian Fuedo, who did get the carry there on first down.
We saw him come in, maybe halfway through the second quarter, had that huge fourth down run, kept their second touchdown drive alive. Yeah, at this point, even the players that are tired, the head coach for TechBoston made a good point. A lot of these guys do play both ways. But now they look at the score, and it was 12-12. We're right here.
Little jump in their step after scoring that touchdown.
Yeah, you get that adrenaline again.
Second down now for Eastie. And another short carry, another pickup of 2. So it'll be 3rd and 6 now for the Jets. Didn't see who got the handoff that time. Well, I think it might have been Fadou. No, that was Nate Matera.
You're seeing some gang tackling now. But again, we saw TechBoston defensively do this in the first half, but then they got burned a couple of times on pass plays because they were all bunched up to the middle. Let's see if what the coach said, make the guys stick with their man-to-man defense and pass coverage.
Russo going to roll to his right, looking to throw the football, and it falls incomplete.
Good pressure. A lot of pressure defensively. It's coming off that right end position. Is that Gonzalez?
That is Gonzalez getting in there.
He was coming out of the linebacker. He was blitzed as a linebacker. He put the pressure on to make that an errant pass. Now he goes back to receive the punt.
So a quick 3 and out there for the Jets as they see Josh Rivera trying to stretch out of the sideline. I wonder if he has a cramp.
Yeah, that looks like a cramp position there.
High snap. Great catch by Shiner to get that punt off, and that's going to roll back to the 39. Now Gonzalez looking for a good return. Marcus Gonzalez to the sideline. And he's going to tiptoe out of bounds just inside Jet territory at the 48.
Oh, you're right, Pat. That play was made by the puncher catching that one. I don't know how he pulled that one down. Look at it. This is like a center fielder taking a home run away.
Exactly. Looked like he was going up to over the wall to catch that one.
And again, this is Gonzalez. Watch it. He just times everything. Very patient. Knows he's going to beat the first guy. Beats the second guy. Now he's just able to get out of bounds, catch his breath, and get ready for some more carries. He's he had a bad block, too, so that's going to go back.
Yeah, we saw that block after Gonzalez went by him.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that was legal
or
not.
It's funny. Well, it took a while for the flag to come out. I was looking for the flag right away, but it eventually did come out. And that's one of the tough things about Gonzalez. He changed the direction so often that his teammates may be setting up a block one way, but then the defender turns around because Gonzalez has changed the whole direction.
Yeah, it almost catches the blockers off guard.
Yeah, definitely.
When they're trying to set them up.
That happens. Anytime you have a running back with so much skill and so many twists and turns.
Now on first down from their own 42, it's Gonzalez.
Look at him.
Gonzalez still on his feet inside the 40. Almost lost the ball there as everybody's wrestling for it.
Right.
And it's up to the 35.
Pat, on that play, it looked like he was going to hit for a loss. Watch it right here. But it's an arm tackle. He actually ran into his own player. Ran into his own teammate. got to tuck that ball in a little better, though, because, like you said, near the end of that play, so yeah, they're trying to steal it away from him, but he's a strong kid.
So another big gain there for Gonzalez. Now on first down from the 26, from the 36 rather, for the Bears.
Runs into his quarterback on that one. Yeah, somebody turned the wrong way. I mean, Gonzalez has got to be winded at this point, so he very well may have made the wrong step. Or the sophomore quarterback may have made the wrong step. But you're definitely not supposed to tackle each other. But let's not forget, though, you know, we're talking about Gonzalez running. He has over 180 yards right now. He's also one of the linebackers on defense. So he's in the middle of all those scrums, all these inside plays that the East Boston offense has been running. He's been in the middle of trying to make tackles.
Yeah, chasing all these East Boston running backs. Looks like Gonzalez is getting a breather on the sideline. See when he's able to come back in.
Yeah, it tells me he made the wrong step on that last play.
Second down and 13 now for the Bears. Kadir Green, the deep back in the backfield. He gets the carry on second down, and Kadir loses a couple of tacklers, fighting forward up to the 36-yard line, so regains some of the yards they lost.
Good job for the fight. I mean, you're right. He got the lost yards back and tacked on a couple, so it's gonna be like 3rd and 8.
You got to think TechBoston, if they want to try to get to the postseason or make any type of noise in the postseason, they are going to have somebody else make some plays.
Have it, yeah, exactly. Just like we always talk about in basketball, you got to have a second scorer. I mean, Gonzalez obviously is the main guy, and he'll remain that. But at the same time, you have to have, because you don't have much of a passing attack with the inexperienced sophomore quarterback. Who went first?
Early movement.
I think the fullback did. It's going to be procedure.
Back the Bears up
5. Down.
Well, that's the 5 yards that Green just got him. So it's going to be 3rd and 13 again.
Clock winding down to about a minute and a half left to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, quick for the third quarter because everybody's been running the football.
Yeah, if it weren't for these penalties, we'd probably be in the fourth quarter, well into the fourth quarter by now.
Gonzalez back is the deep back in the eye.
3rd down and 15 now for the Bears. Jackson over the middle.
Nice
got
pass.
his receiver down to the 25-yard line.
Tell you, Esau Jackson, let me apologize to you because that was a perfect throw. For the sophomore quarterback, rose up, found his tight end.
Yeah, it's Kadeem Dare with the catch.
Look at this pass, right on the button. Dare, who actually was the same player who his quarterback was trying to give him directions a couple of series ago. That time makes a big catch on a 3rd and 15.
It's a first down for the Bears, so now at the 25-yard line, TechBoston looking towards the end zone. Back to Gonzalez, they give it. Marcus trying to stutter step a defender, but a good form tackle.
He did a good job. He did a really good job. The big guy, 79, came across for East Boston, was able to keep Jose Rubin. He was able to keep Gonzalez from getting to the sideline. Right here, see, watch 79. See, doesn't get fooled, and then makes the one-on-one tackle himself. Now, the one time they tried to throw the ball to Gonzalez, he was actually one of the up backs in the I formation. That's going to be the end of the third quarter.
Yes, and that does do it here for the third quarter at Satorti Stadium. We're tied up at 12 between the TechBoston Bears and the East Boston Jets as Marcus Gonzalez continues to dazzle us with his electrifying runs. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter here at Satorti Stadium. Should be a good one here on Game of the Week.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just gotta
trying as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to Satorti Stadium in East Boston for Game of the Week. The East Boston Jets and TechBoston Bears are knotted up at 12 apiece. We're just about ready to start the fourth quarter. And next week, folks, we'll be heading out to Charlestown, getting our first look at the Boston South as the English New Mission Co-op team is now going to be taking on the Charlestown Townies next Friday night at 6 o'clock, October 19th. You can watch it live on Boston City TV, RCN, or Comcast rather, channel 24, RCN channel 13, and Verizon channel 1962. And as we get ready to start the third, folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can go to our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. Make sure you tweet at us with the hashtag BostonGOW.
We'll see how much gas Gonzalez has left. I mean, he's a durable athlete, but he's got to be tired with all this action.
2nd down and 8 now for the Bears. This time the handoff to Gadir Green, who can't slip by the offensive line. Just a short gain there on 2nd down. Might not have gained anything.
Yeah, that time they used Gonzalez as a decoy. They had him flare out to the right side, tried to sneak Kadeem back on to the left side there, but again, he had there's Kadeem trying to get cut back inside. Actually ran into his own blocker before he got tackled. But it's one of those things that East Boston, you still have to watch the area. They know they're all aware of Gonzalez. They all want to get a piece of him to tackle him, but at the same time, you got to watch everybody else.
3rd down and 8 now for TechBoston.
Yeah, that time they were offside.
The right tackle did move.
Say, yeah, you got it, Pat. You got it. They're calling procedure.
Let's see if we get a replay.
Offside. Yep.
Yeah, the offside, the tackle.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time to get East Boston. Okay.
Still 3rd down.
That's a big help. That's a huge help for TechBoston because now they're only going to face a 3rd and 2. So what might have been a different play can now be a simple handoff to Gonzalez.
They're down and 2 now for the Bears. With Gonzalez, the deep back. They do give it to him. Marcus Gonzalez up the middle. Eyes on the end zone. Touchdown, TechBoston.
He's something. What's that, his 3rd touchdown today?
I mean, you see a little bit of space for this guy, and you're thinking end zone.
Well, and again, that's he's over 200 yards rushing with all those carries. But like I said, I go back to the fact he's on every play defensively too. And let's not forget special teams. So,
yeah, he's returned a few kicks as well.
There he is. Good cuts. And that speed is I don't really want to say it's deceiving because you know it's there. It's just that it sort of catches you off guard.
Slithery.
Right.
Now for the 2-point conversion, neither team has converted. Now it's Jackson.
Jackson, good
on the
job.
good fake.
That's on.
Punches it in.
Yeah, and you called it right, Pat, because he faked the pitch. That's what gave him the opening. If we can see that again. Okay, watch him fake the pitch. See, and the defender had to go outside. That gave him a little bit of a slot to get in for the conversion. So the first time we have a 2-point conversion. And TechBoston makes it an 8-point lead. Put some pressure on East Boston. I mean, obviously, the Jets have the ability to come down and score a touchdown, but now the pressure is on them. They've got to make the 2-point conversion also.
So the Jets with some work to do now, down by 8 with 9:45 left to go here in the fourth quarter. The line drive kick that's caught by Matera at the 30. And Nate Matera brings it up to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, good job by Matera to catch it in the air. Just to show you how funny football is. Now, we were talking about Gonzalez. Over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns and all. But on that drive, the key play was the third down pass.
That's right.
The 3rd and 15. That was the key play. The sophomore quarterback throwing it to his tight end to keep that drive going.
Yeah, Kadeem Dare coming up with the catch. You see Jason Siepker, the defensive coordinator for Tech Boston. Coach Brown made a point to talk about Coach Siepker and how well he's done running the defense for the Bears.
And again, because there's a lot involved, especially when you have so many guys who play both ways.
On first down. Short gain there for East Boston as it's Christian Fadu with the carry.
Watch Christian. He's getting a lot of action since the end of the first half.
Yeah, Angelo Blake came off in the first half a little bit
yeah,
hobbled with his ankle.
You noticed that, and
see him down on the sideline.
You got to wonder if that ankle is just acting up.
Now
it doesn't look like he's even thinking about going back in. He's sort of walking around, but.
And now we get a fumble on the play.
Again. Wow.
I think East Boston was able to recover, but that exchange caused the fumble there.
I'll tell you, Pat, this has got to be killing Blake. He's one of the seniors. He had started out the game with some very nice runs. Yeah, you see the ball just popped up.
Yeah, Casey Vasquez was the intended ball carrier.
Yeah, watching them now, Blake does have a little bit of a limp. But even though both those ankles are taped heavily outside his sneaker, outside his cleat rather, something's wrong with one of those legs.
3rd down and 10 now for East Boston. Russo.
Overthrown, yeah.
Yeah, he's looking for his favorite target, Josh Rivera, but it was behind him.
He got some late pressure. A little off target. Up to that point, Russo had a decent game throwing the ball. He didn't have to throw much. No, at halftime, he was 4 for 4. Had a touchdown pass. But
so the Jets once again will have to punt after a 3-and-out. And we got an early whistle.
Yeah, there's an offside on Tech Boston.
The procedure, offense.
Okay.
Illegal procedure.
So he wasn't
on
offside.
the Jets.
He actually saw some motion. Yeah, Jets starting to make some uncharacteristic mistakes. I mean, they're usually a pretty disciplined team, and I think the pressure of knowing you got to score in this last 6 minutes. We got to get the ball back first, but some mental mistakes.
Almost a block punt as Shiner is able to get off a decent kick that's going to roll in the Jets' favor down to the 33-yard line. So
okay, the Jets need a defensive stand. They've got to now. We've only seen them a couple of times try that run blitz. One time it worked for a big loss, actually, when they were able to catch Gonzalez in the backfield. They may want to think about dialing up a couple of those now because they've got to get the ball back as soon as possible. Meanwhile, obviously, the opposite thinking for Tech Boston. They're going to give a big dose of Gonzalez. Just a matter of, are they going to go to the pitch game or they're going to straight handoff to be more safe?
You do wonder if Kadir Green or one of these other guys does maybe get 1 or 2 carries.
I think so.
Just to get thrown off the scent a little bit.
Throw him off balance, yeah. Or maybe even Jackson, the quarterback.
That's true. He got that 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Now on first down, they do give it to Green.
There's your
and
call,
they see Kadir wrapped up at the 38-yard line.
Right on cue. And what's important about that is that you can always use Gonzalez as a decoy, as he was flared out to the left because Green comes back to the right. You can live with 5 yards on a first down play. So you're right, it does juice him up. I mean, Green, he's been blocking all game. So to give him a couple of carries here and there, his next block's going to be just that much better.
2nd down and 5 now for Tech Boston. They go back to Gonzalez. What a nice cut up the field for Gonzalez, who plows over a defender to the 47.
Yeah, once he gets in the secondary, Restrepo actually did a good job to come up and get the tackle. Restrepo's only 135 pounds. But watch Gonzalez. Restrepo went low as he had to. He knew he had to. It's the only chance he has to grab those legs.
So clock continues to move here for the Bears. Under 7 minutes left to go here in the 4th quarter. Boston close to midfield now. They give it to Gonzalez on 1st down. He shakes another tackler. Gonzalez still in the open field. Inside the 30, we got a flag.
Yeah, block in the back.
And that's going to bring it back a bit for Tech Boston.
It was actually the strangest thing. Grands, Ivan Grands, the senior, it looked like he was actually trying to avoid the block in the back, but somehow.
Come back 15 from there. We got a block in the back.
I mean, it's not going to be a devastating penalty because it's a spot foul, and it's it was deep downfield. But watch it. You'll see it right on your screen. You'll see him now. Number 1, he's in the play right there. Watch him put his hands up, trying to avoid the block in the back. But maybe he just called himself guilty by putting his hands up.
Because he did almost more of a shove there. If he did kind of just
avoid. It's almost as if he was waiting for the defender to maybe turn around.
That's right. Now 1st down for Tech Boston at the East Boston 43. And Gonzalez trying to dance out of some traffic. He is able to pick up a couple. And he's brought down at the 41, so just a 2-yard pickup there for Gonzalez.
That was a break. That last penalty was really a break for East Boston because now they have a really good chance defensively of trying to get a turnover on downs. Boy, just think how the season for Boston has changed. I mean, like we talked about earlier, they started the season off with 3 losses. Now they have two back-to-back wins.
If they are able to hang on tonight, it'll be 3 straight wins for the Bears. Gonzalez again with the pitch. We got another flag. That's probably going to be coming back.
Yeah. I've got to think that some of this is fatigue now. I mean, we talked
about
a hole. Exactly, yeah.
White, 6'5".
Yeah, I do think that some of these players for Tech Boston who play both ways starting to get a little worn down, so that thrust for a block turns into a lean grab.
Yeah, it's Chubi Okologu.
Yeah, and that's a tough. Yeah, because they had a very makeable 3rd down coming up. Instead, it's now going to be a 2nd and 20 or 19. Yeah. Clock's winding down to 5 minutes. Now, East Boston, this is by far their best chance to get the ball back.
2nd down and 18 now for the Bears. They hand off to the big fella. That's Bademba Ba, who gets tripped up right around the 44-yard line. So the big fullback getting rewarded with that carry.
I'll tell you, he showed a little bit of a burst. Watch him get those knees chugging in, and runs over the first guy, loses balance, but that's a decent game for the fullback. Well, he's a former lineman. He's lineman turned fullback, and again, he's been blocking a lot. On defense, he has 9 tackles. Everyone loves to get the football. It doesn't matter who you are. You love to get the football.
Well, Coach Brown mentioned when they made the move and put Bademba in the backfield, his eyes lit up.
Of course,
he knew. Yeah. He was still going to be blocking a lot, but he knew he would have a chance at getting some carries as well. 3rd and 10 now, and Gonzalez gets the pitch. Good block on the outside, And Gonzalez is going to be short of the first down, and he goes out of bounds.
And we got a late flag. Yeah.
That's coming back anyway.
Boy,
I saw Coach Brown chasing after Marcus, though, saying,
yeah.
why are you going out of bounds
both,
at this point in the game?
See, both teams, we're seeing some fatigue set in. These aren't even mental mistakes. These are more like physical, just sort of breakdowns. I mean, it's been a well-played game, but it's been physical on both sides because so much of the running has been between tackles.
Thank you, sir. Personal foul, block below the waist here. Repeat, third down.
Here's the play of the game for the East Boston defense. They're getting a break. The block, there it is right there. Yeah, right at the 45-yard line.
So that backs up the Bears to their own 49-yard line.
Well, they'll run, try to stay in bounds, run some more clock, and then try to punt back to just, as close to the goal line as possible.
3rd down and 20 now for the Bears. They give it to Gonzalez. Bounces to the outside. Another nice cut from Marcus Gonzalez, still on his feet. Fights forward up to the 38-yard line.
Again, you saw the Jets going for the football. It actually helped Gonzalez. It helped him to stay in bounds. Watch the end of this play. A little jump cut again. He got a lot of moves. He's a little skip step. Now watch right here. Going for the football, that's what actually kept Gonzalez in bounds because he was actually has momentum going toward the sideline. So 4th down and we'll call it 6.
I think TechBoston's going to punt it.
Oh, I would think so. Yeah, I think they want to try to
pin East Boston.
Yeah. Oh yeah, as far back as possible.
I mean, it is 4th and 5. You're at the 38. And now TechBoston, I think.
You know what, Pat? I think what you just picked up on, they're rethinking this.
I mean, you don't get it. The Eastie gets it at, what, the 35 or so?
35 or so. I mean, if the punt goes into the end zone, it's going to be at the 20 anyway. So
we'll see what they do out of the timeout. Here's a replay of that last run.
Again, this time he tightens the ball a little bit. That's why they almost got it. They almost got it, but he's strong kid. I can tell you.
Our sideline reporter John Skudras has an update. John, what's happening?
Thanks, Pat. Great adjustments here in the second half by Coach Raul Brown for TechBoston, especially in the running game. After they lost a couple of linemen due to injury, David Gonzalez, a diminutive right guard, came on in. He, along with Ali Abdul-Qadir, 2 very young interior linemen for this TechBoston team, but they haven't missed a beat as they've rushed for a couple touchdowns in the second half. Meanwhile, for East Boston, they're trying to contain the running game of TechBoston by bringing in bigger linebackers than their starters like Angelo Blake. We'll see if it works on a big 4th down right here.
Thanks very much, John. So a couple of guys stepping in for TechBoston on the offensive line. We'll see if the East Boston Jets can get a good return here as TechBoston is going to punt the football. Grand with a spiraling kick that's going to go out of bounds. He angles it out right around the 10-yard line.
Inside the 10, looks like.
They're going to mark it down to 12.
Okay, 12, okay. That's what they want to do. Anywhere inside the 20 is fine.
So net of 26 yards, but a much better punt.
Nice angle.
Than the yards would indicate.
That's just his first punt of the game for them. They've been going for 4th downs the entire game up until then.
So now the Jets will have to drive 88 yards
for a chance to tie the game. Yeah.
And again, without Angelo Blake, Hector Martinez already out coming into this game.
Blake's right in front of us.
You don't have a ton of big play guys.
That's the tough part.
You got to think this could be a Josh Rivera drive.
I think Rivera, exactly right.
Russo's going to look for him a lot.
Yeah, we've noticed during the course of the game, Rivera's Russo's favorite target. Rivera's in the slot on the right side.
On 1st down, Russo over the middle. Oh, he tried to set up a screen to Matera,
and it was set
he
up
couldn't
too.
hang on to it.
It was open. Matera was so anxious to get upfield that he turned before he secured it. Watch this. It's going to come. Nice pass. But he's looking upfield before he saw the ball into his hands. It's a tough. I mean, it's a tough position because, like you said, you got to go 88 yards. So every play is feeling like, all right, I got to make a lot of yards.
You got to make a big chunk here.
There
Big chunk here.
They had set up nice because Matera had a teammate in front as a lead blocker. If he could have corralled that, and he would have had a chance to get to the sideline to stop the clock.
Fideau in motion, and Russo now running for his life as he's brought down in the backfield.
Yeah, they had that's.
Might have been close to a face mask there, but I didn't see a flag. As Chubi Okologu getting in on the stop.
Obvious pass situation. Okologo knows that. Here he comes. Yeah, you're right back. Get him around the neck, but didn't grab anything.
Now East Boston calls the time.
Call time. There's the key play right here. Third and very long. Third and about 14. Well, we've seen TechBoston give a lot of pressure with their pass rush, but in fact, that's their first actual sack. They tackled Russo once.
Right around the line of scrimmage.
Right, line of scrimmage. So that ended up being a regular play. But this is, we talk about adrenaline all the time. You talk about now we're watching guys on both sides playing both ways and trying to decide the game. That's a big play for Okologo because normally you see Russo roll, have the pass run option, but he just got chased down on that one. So on a 3rd and 15. Where we're just under 2 minutes. Boy, this is most obviously the biggest play for East Boston.
We mentioned that Russo was 4 for 4
in the first half.
In the first half, has not been as successful throwing the ball here in the second half.
Well, yeah, in the last one, unfortunately, his fullback dropped. That was a well-thrown ball.
Yeah, it was like
nice
you mentioned
screen.
too, set up well.
Yeah.
Matera couldn't quite hang on. So Jets, 3rd down and 16. Russo going deep down the right side, but nobody home there on the pass. So Jets will have one more play to try to pick this up.
He put that in the air, but he's
back
35 yards. 5-yard line. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. He was standing about the 5, so that was about a 40-yard pass.
Yeah, he put a lot of air under that one. Well, they do have, according to the scoreboard, they have 4 timeouts left. So, again, they can make a defensive stand and use their timeouts, but that's the key. You got to figure out how you're going to stop Gonzalez, who has over 200 yards.
Shiner does get the punt off as it bounces out to about the 33, and that's where the Jets will down it.
It's an interesting strategy on that one, Pat. What TechBoston did, they decided to put pressure on the punter instead of even putting anyone back for a return. And in fact, it forced him to rush the punt and didn't get as much off on it as he wanted. So now you have TechBoston at the East Boston 33-yard line. That's interesting because a lot of times coaches don't like to take the chance of an exuberant player wanting to get a blocked punt and running into the kicker. But I think this second half, we've seen the TechBoston coaches sort of push the right buttons.
Yeah, TechBoston now setting themselves up nicely. 1:41 left to go here in the 4th with the football at the 33-yard line of East Boston.
So, and all the runners hold on to the football, 2 arms on contact.
Give it to Gonzalez on first down. The thing almost pops out as he probably lost. He's going to be marked down at the line of scrimmage at the 33, and now East Boston calls a timeout quickly.
Oh yeah,
with 1:32 left.
They have the 3. They have enough timeouts, but watch this bobble right there. Good hands for Gonzalez to retrieve it. Good job for East Boston also to keep that to no gain. So these next 2 down, well, next 3 downs, because this is 4 down territory for TechBoston. So these next 3 downs of defense for East Boston will determine if they get a final chance on offense.
Second down and 10 now for the Bears. They pitch it to Gonzalez as he gets a block to the outside.
Good job.
And Gonzalez now back up the middle.
Wow.
Gonzalez might find the end zone. Marcus Gonzalez, touchdown, TechBoston.
That was all Gonzalez because the play was designed to be a left sweep. He purposely stayed in bounds for timing. Watch it. This is sweep, obvious sweep play, cuts inside, gets back, and right here he's just thinking, let me stay in bounds to keep the clock running. Now he's starts again, and he's off to his 4th touchdown. Wow. This kid is 4 yards away from a 300-yard game.
27 carries, 296, and 4 touchdowns tonight for Marcus Gonzalez. Well, a couple of weeks ago, he ran for 219 against Brighton. I mean, what happened there?
Yeah.
He only ran for 219 yards. You know, he's getting to 300 these other 2 games.
We're talking about one of the most amazing 3-game stretches. Think about it.
I can't remember
and
it.
This team started out 0-3.
They give the carry to the fullback for the 2-point conversion, and he's able to plow through. That time it was 32 for TechBoston.
Got Joseph.
Getting the 2-point conversion.
Jaquan
Joseph with the carry. So the big sophomore fullback picking up the 2-point conversion.
Yep, good guys involved. Puts his head down.
Tough run.
Keeps 2 hands on the ball.
So that puts the Bears up by 16 here with 1:15 left to go in the 4th. Very impressive second half for TechBoston.
Overly. I'm telling you, they went behind. Remember that they were behind. They had to bounce back, and they've answered. When you have a talent like Gonzalez, it makes it so well, not easy, but more comfortable for his teammates. They just have to do their jobs, mostly blocking, and just let him sort of run the show.
Terra just falls on it at the 27-yard line. So TechBoston will go on to win their 3rd game in a row.
3-3.
3-3 overall.
As we talked about,
3-1 in the Boston North.
Yeah, that's the key. That 3-1 is the key because TechBoston, for what they have left, they're going to be, after this game tonight, they have to go to West Roxbury. Okay, and we'll see how this running offense plays against that tough West Roxbury defense.
Yeah, everybody else in the Boston North has faced Westy this season, I believe, other than this TechBoston team.
Yeah.
I believe Latin Academy is playing West Roxbury tonight.
So we really could have a little jumble there at the top of that.
Yeah, it could be. It could be very interesting depending on what happens with the other games tonight. Actually, West Roxbury had to move their game to tomorrow. They thought the weather was going to be much worse today. So they'll be playing tomorrow at West Roxbury. I believe they're playing Latin Academy, but I could be wrong in that.
All right, so
Jets with only 2 offensive yards so far in the second half.
Trying to end around with
Josh Rivera. And Jets call a timeout here with 57 seconds left to go in the 4th.
I mean, TechBoston, like you said, jumps to 3-1 in the league. Latin Academy is still at 2-1 with their upcoming game. West Roxbury, of course, are 3-0. Yeah, those three teams can really tighten up this weekend. Yeah. which would make, well, either way, it makes that West Roxbury game against Tech Boston a huge game next week, no matter what happens.
No matter what happens with the Raiders game, no question. They're down in 6 now for Eastie as Russo looks over the middle.
A little off target there. Last gasp time, 4th down to try to keep this drive going. This time, good protection. Well, the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Okay. Little deflection, threw it off target.
Eastie running the double reverse to Restrepo. He's got a lot of speed.
Plenty of room
for this Jets team, and Restrepo picks up the 1st down and more. Miguel Restrepo past midfield up to the 46-yard line.
Nice reverse. You mentioned Restrepo's speed. Definitely has it. Outruns his blocking, but that's fine. They thought he was going to go out of bounds, but he stayed in bounds and add another 15 yards. Now, the clock stops on the 1st down, so they should be rushing up there. Well, they could use a timeout. Okay. They're down to 1 timeout. There's never any quitting these Jets. As many times as we come out here to East Boston, regardless, I mean, most of the time they're on top on the plus side
very
of the
successful.
But even when they're getting beat, there's never any quit. They go as far into their playbook as they have to. That time they come with the double reverse.
I think it's just real tough when you lose
Yeah,
a guy like Martinez, and you got Blake, who's got banged up in the first half.
Blake's the big loss.
Because they just haven't had those big plays that they sometimes pop.
And Blake was really, like you said, he was showing some flashes in terms of just, one step away from breaking a big play.
Rivera gets the catch, but it's a big loss for East Boston here on 1st down.
Is that Roscoe? Yeah, Roscoe White. Good coverage. I mean, coverage now for Tech Boston is easy. It's very, very easy to stay with these receivers because these are desperation passes. Look for Restrepo. He's coming out here to the left, to wide receiver. Single coverage.
Russo going down the right side, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Tech Boston. That was Sean Gomes coming up with the pick.
Well, he's playing center field. I mean, the defense is like a combination matchup in the zone. Good arm by Russo, but like you said, there's Gomes just stepping in as the second coverage guy. So a couple of knees should do this one. Actually, one should do it. Good win for the Bears. Really good win. I mean, they had that the winning streak. They beat Brighton. Beat them pretty badly, 30 to 8, 30 to 6, and then they shut out O'Brien. So to now tack on this win against East Boston on the road, that's very impressive. That should do it, actually. No need for East Boston to call a timeout.
So as we mentioned, the Tech Boston Bears improving to 3-3 on the season, after picking up their 3rd win in a row tonight.
But more importantly, 3-1
in the Boston North. That's right.
Go. And that's what you're shooting for.
Final score here at Satorti Stadium: Tech Boston 28, East Boston 12. And, boy, this second half has belonged to Tech Boston. I mean, you saw certainly Marcus Gonzalez has been the main focal point, but a couple other players made some nice plays. And you mentioned that big pass.
That was the
Katim Dare was the huge play.
That was the drive that put them ahead. And they had a 3rd and 15. Obviously, East Boston's defense looking at Gonzalez. He's the decoy, and the sophomore quarterback rose up and found the tight ends. Got more than enough for the first down, kept that drive going. So it's just interesting. I mean, the big change has obviously made Gonzalez the best runner in the city for the last month, okay? The last 3 weeks at least. But like you said, you got to have a second weapon. You got to have a second or third person step up. And we saw, when needed, Green, quarterback Jackson, you saw some plays happen. So now Tech Boston is someone to be reckoned with.
No question, and certainly someone to be reckoned with has been Marcus Gonzalez tonight. When we come back, we will have our MVP interview. I don't think it's going to be a shocker as who's getting that.
If he can still talk, right?
That's right. He's probably still winded for all the running he's done. He's ran 3 football fields worth of rushing yards tonight. So we'll have Marcus Gonzalez a little bit later on and the final stats from this game in just a couple of minutes. We're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have that for you here on Game of the Week.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Get some drinks!
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do him like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door. Sorry about that. You just did the same. Gotta get the boys.
Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Satorti Stadium in East Boston. At the conclusion of Game of the Week, the TechBoston Bears hang on to win the East Boston Jets 28-12. Big-time game for the Bears, big-time second half because of a big-time player, Marcus Gonzalez. We knew coming in that he has had a heck of a couple of weeks, well over 500 yards rushing over the last 2 weeks, several touchdowns. He was just a phenomenal player tonight here at Easton.
And in high school football, that can happen for a couple of weeks. And it's called a flash in the pan. Believe me, this is no flash.
No.
This is for real.
Well, we saw some flash, but it continued throughout the game.
You know, we saw him almost a month ago, a very frustrating shutout loss.
Right.
But at the end of that game, what happened was we saw him just run from the quarterback position,
right.
And he really he made a lot of yards. Didn't score, but made a lot of yards. And I think that might have been one of the things that helped the coaching staff decide, let's put him in the backfield as a running back and see what happens. And this is what's happened. This is his third game in a row with over 200 yards.
Yeah, just been amazing. To nobody's surprise, Marcus Gonzalez is our MVP tonight. Him and Coach Brown are down on the field with our sideline reporter, John Skudras. John, take it away. Looks like we're still having problems with our mics. We'll see if we get that straightened out.
Let's continue with the point we were making about Gonzalez, all right? And give him credit because before the season, they asked him to play quarterback, knowing he was probably the best offensive athlete they had. As a matter of fact, the coach told you that he thinks he's the best athlete in the entire city.
That's right.
And now these last 3 games, he's starting to show that. He's an offensive weapon. For the one thing about football, it's always exciting to people when there's an amazing running back. And, you think about like last year in college football with Penn State and Saquon Barkley. All right, people, it's must-see TV because a running back, for whatever reason, it's exciting, obviously, but the combination of speed, strength, shiftiness, that type of thing, and that's what you see with this player Gonzalez. And I think that it's just too bad for TechBoston overall that that decision wasn't made earlier because they started the season out 0-3. And we did one of those games.
That's right.
And it was a frustrating game because they, like we mentioned, they got beat 12-0. Very good Latin Academy team, especially good defense. And it was almost like TechBoston couldn't get out of their own way until the very last quarter when they just allowed Gonzalez to run the football.
That's right.
And he got close to 100 yards in that game, as a matter of fact, because that big fourth quarter. So moving on now, I mean, they've set up for themselves. They've earned their way to what's going to be a big showdown next week.
That's right.
They have to go to West Roxbury against those big guys, and they're big, both offense and defense. Let's see how the sort of young and a little bit beat up offensive line for TechBoston, see how much help they can give Gonzalez.
No question. We'll see if somebody else can emerge, but certainly Gonzalez has been a heck of a player here in the city for the last 3 weeks. He should be ready now. He is down with our sideline reporter, John Scudra. So, John, take it away.
Down on the sideline here post-game with Coach Raul Brown of Tech Boston, as well as our hero of the game, Marcus Gonzalez. And after some adjustments to our technical difficulties, we are ready to rock and roll. And after some adjustments at halftime, guys, you were ready to rock and roll. This second half performance, one really that could really set the tone for the rest of the season with some big games coming up. We'll get to Coach Brown, but first let's start with our hero of the game. Marcus, what a day today. We have you down 27 carries, 296 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, any way you put that, that is an epic performance. Just speak a little bit about your game today and how you felt going out there.
We just came out strong. We know we was down in the first half, but we went in the locker room and just knew that we had to execute. Coach was putting us in the right position, so we just had to do our job and execute.
Absolutely, and your offensive line has had, some transition over the past year. You had an injury today on the right side of the line that affected you guys as well, and yet here they were again plowing through holes for you against a very good defense for the Jets of East Boston. Talk a little bit about your O-line and how they help contribute to your success as well.
My O-line, they adjusted well. One of our guys went down. They stepped up, played a big role, made the holes very big, and we just kept pushing.
Now, this season is an interesting one for you guys because you began the season with you at quarterback and you were running a spread option type of offense. And after the offense got off to a slow start the first few games, you transitioned to running back. You put Esau back at quarterback and, well, things clearly have worked out. Talk about how do you go from being a quarterback to a running back and how do you make that transition so fluently as you have?
I feel like just my athletic abilities, just transitioning and going to the backfield, trusting my sophomore quarterback Esau, and we just kept pushing as well.
You certainly have. Now, I have to ask you, do you like playing quarterback more or running back more? Because you seem to be pretty good at both.
I would have to go with running back.
Yeah?
I'd have to go with running back.
Because most times you would think quarterback because that's, the lead jockey. That's the guy everyone talks about, but you prefer getting the ball in your hands and getting dirty.
Yes, sir.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. And he got dirty today, and he's going to go clean up. Almost 300 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. Great job, Marcus. Best of luck the rest of the way. Bring your coach in here. Coach Brown, what a performance here. I talked to you at halftime for a few seconds, and you said that, players were just getting out of position. You guys had only scored 6 points in the first half, and things weren't looking that great for your offense after your first drive. What changed?
Well, Eastie did a really good job of holding on to the ball and the possession time. We looked at our charts and we noticed we only had about 5-6 offensive plays. So that played a huge role in it as well. So if we made any mistakes in 5 or 6 plays, it just made the problem look a lot bigger than what it was. So we went inside the locker room, made some adjustments, talked to the players, found out where people were, and then we realized, we had some opportunities with some other plays and we took advantage of it.
Well, there's some fantastic adjustments as you've made this season. As I mentioned with Marcus, you guys offensively have gone through really a revolution over the course of your first 6 games. And it's coming to really bear fruit for you guys. You guys coming away with another high performance and high-octane offensive day. How much effort goes into, on a weekly basis, changing an offense around like that? I feel like that is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week job to have to change around something like that.
Well, we ran multiple offenses, and what we decided was the one that worked best, the one we moved the ball best was Marcus at Gonzalez. And I said it all year, it's like having like a Bo Jackson and the old Tecmo Bowl, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I have the best players, so I feel like we're just going to put the ball in the best players' hands,
Well, that's the way to do it, and that's the way to win. Now, you guys have a huge matchup next week against West Roxbury, who coming into the weekend was 3-0, leading your division. Now you guys have crept up, and you're right behind them with an opportunity to maybe usurp them in the standings. How big is this game coming up, and how hard are you guys going to prepare all week?
Well, West Roxbury has a great coaching staff. We all know each other very well. Our kids know each other very well. They probably are the strongest defense we'll see all year. They're tough, they're big, they're strong. They've notoriously been known for that. We have our work cut out for us, but my boys will show up, just like they will, and we'll be ready for this football game.
Certainly. Well, one more for you, Coach. Speaking of defense, your defense in the second half was outstanding. You struggled a little bit at times against the pass in the first half. I think you only allowed 1 or 2 first downs to the Jets the entirety of the second half. Talk a little bit about the growth of your defense here over the course of the season.
Well, that's just the thing. The defense has always been great. The offense is just now catching up to them. We've always depended. The defensive coordinator Jason Sieper has done a great job with these guys all year long. He changed the defense up this year, and they've been the ones that's been keeping us into football games. And the offense right now is just catching up to them. They've been spectacular the whole year.
That's now 18 points in 3 games your defense has allowed as you continue to motor through the Boston City League. Coach, thank you so much. Best of luck against West Roxbury. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. That's Coach Raul Brown, the winning coach today, and our hero of the game, Marcus Gonzalez, almost 300 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns, and as the weather gets colder, the Bears get warmer. That's it from the sideline. Back up to you, Pat and Alan.
Thanks very much, John. And Coach Brown, very happy with his performance here, his team's performance here tonight, I'm sure. And, of course, a big game coming up next week.
Huge game against the big guys.
That's right.
Probably the biggest team in the city, just like Raul said. And it's interesting. So at halftime, when John talked to him, I mentioned he just seemed confident, even though they were trailing and they hadn't had much offense in the first, other than that big run by Gonzalez. He just talked very confidently, saying, "Okay,
very sure of himself.
We see exactly what's going on wrong. We're guessing a little bit on defense and out of position. On offense, we're just not clicking yet." And I think he knew it was coming. I really think he could feel like he saw some opportunities. And second half, total change. I mean, you talked about the defense. The East Boston didn't score.
That's
with
right.
all the weapons. Now, like the point you made. Losing the running back, Blake, was a big
no question
problem for East Boston, because even though some other players came in and played pretty well, they weren't Blake. And Blake was, I thought, on his way to having a really big game.
Yeah, he started off really well.
Yeah.
Before
so
that
that's just breaks the game in terms of getting injuries, and that really put them in a bad position. But this 3 in a row for TechBoston.
Yeah, they are feeling good right now. Feeling good headed into West Roxbury.
I mean, think about it. 30 points, 28 points. I mean, you're talking about on a roll. I keep going back to the game we did earlier when we saw them get shut out 12-0 by Latin Academy.
Sure, a very different game.
They showed some flashes, but they would drive the field, not score. Drive the field, turnover.
Right.
Lose the ball on downs, whatever. So now they seem to really have things going. It's just a matter of how is his offensive line, TechBoston, going to match up against that oversized defense from West Roxbury.
That's right.
That's going to be the challenge.
It's going to be an interesting matchup. Let's take a look at the final stats from this game before we sign off from Satorti Stadium here in East Boston. And first up, it's the Jet stats.
Jets. Now, see, most of this stuff happened in the first half. I mean, Matera, the fullback, ended up with 51.
Yeah, great first half.
Yeah, exactly. 51 yards on 14 carries. Blake, that was all in the first half. His 47 yards on 8 carries, and that's why it was such a big loss when he went out. Receiving, Rivera had 4 catches for 34 yards plus a touchdown. Restrepo, that 1 catch for 25 yards. Russo, he was 4 for 4 in the first half. Second half, because he was being pressured a lot and they had to throw the football, ended up 5 for 12. Did have that 1 touchdown, had that interception at the end of the game for 59 yards. So East Boston, like I said, most of that stuff happened in the first half. The TechBoston defense really did a job and took advantage of East Boston being shorthanded.
Yeah, he really clamped it down there in the second half. Marcus Gonzalez, decent game tonight.
I'm telling you what, here you go. First time we've ever seen a line almost run out of space, right? I mean, you got Gonzalez. If his name was any longer,
if he had one of those hyphen names, forget about it.
Right, we have to give him we have to cut it down. But 33 carries, 296 yards, 4 touchdowns. Now, how often do you see that in a high school football game? That's amazing. And then Green, okay, and that was the point you made, Pat. Every once in a while, he had a little, carry here. He got a big first down carry.
That's right.
A lot of blocks. So 14 yards, 4 carries. Receiving not much because they didn't need to throw the ball. Dari had 1 for 16. Gonzalez had that one screen play that didn't go anywhere because it didn't work out. So you need it. Sophomore Jackson, like you said, managed things. Really stayed away from turnovers. Only threw the ball 6 times, 3 for 6, 15 yards. Had an interception, but biggest play of the game for him was the 2-point conversion.
That's right.
Because when they got that third touchdown, went ahead, making the score 20-12 was a big deal because the first 4 touchdowns between the two teams, none of them made a conversion.
That's right.
So him making that 2-point conversion was a big deal emotionally and competitively in terms of East Boston's feeling the pressure of having to score a touchdown and convert. So everyone contributed. And I think that Tech Boston has really got to feel very good going back to Boston tonight.
Without question, as a great performance from Gonzalez, but a lot of players on this team made good contributions like Alan just mentioned. Folks, if you want to watch this game again and you're going to want to watch a 296 rushing yard performance again, you're going to go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game of the week. All the games from this season are up on that site. You can go to our Facebook page, and a lot of good YouTube links and different links to different videos and pictures as well. Facebook.com/game of the week. A lot of good stuff up there. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. Hard to believe, but next week is the final week of the regular season here in 2018. We're going to be going to Charlestown as the English New Mission Co-op team will be taking on the Charlestown Townies. Then after that, it's playoff time. Believe it or not, here in late October. But for right now, we're going to say so long here from East Boston here on Game of the Week. Take care, everybody.